Will Avengers 4 be a riff on Back to the Future? With Justice League come and gone, it's time to do the inevitable, set our sights on the next big superhero crossover coming our way, May 2018's Avengers Infinity War. Now, obviously, very little is known about the movie save for the fact that it'll involve some Infinity Stones, some war, and probably some Avengers. We'll meet Thanos' Black Order, we'll watch him embark on a holy quest to collect stones for his pretty little gauntlet, and we'll see over 6,000 of our favorite Marvel heroes on screen at once. It's gonna be huge! So huge, in fact, that it leaves us to wonder what's left to be explored in the following summer's untitled Avengers 4. We know the movie is set to be a culminating chapter for all three existing phases of the MCU, but we don't know much else. And that's where today's little theory comes into play. What if the fourth Avengers movie is a time-traveling trip down memory lane? All right. Before we dig too deep into this theory, let's look at some of the recent events that have led us to it. First, some statements from Kevin Feige. The Marvel head honcho hasn't said much about Infinity War and its squeakquel, but what he has said is that the MCU will change dramatically after the events of Avengers the Fourth. As he told Collider, as we get to Infinity War, there is a sense of a climax, if not a conclusion. By the time we're at an untitled Avengers 4, what happens after that will be very different. So alright, so Infinity War is the climax, maybe even the conclusion, and yet it's Avengers 4 that will lead us to this brave new world for the MCU. Very interesting. Of course, the only reason we're stuck calling Avengers 4 Untitled Avengers is because Marvel won't release the film's true title out of fear that it is in itself a spoiler. When Cinema Blend asked Feige point blank if that was the reason, he said, of course, and elaborated that they're two very different movies. So there's something inherently spoilery in the very foundation of Avengers 4, so much so that its own title would give away the game. So that's the setup we've been allowed to know, but how about those recent set photos? Earlier this month, some sleuths got pics of Robert Downey Jr. on set wearing the same long-sleeve shirt he rocked in Avengers 1, as well as a long-haired Thor and Loki wearing his weirdly bondagey mouthguard thing, and a few months back there was a casting call in Georgia for some 1960s set scenes, made even more interesting by Haley Atwell's hints on Instagram a couple months back that she'd be returning to the MCU as Agent Carter. So we are undoubtedly jumping around in time during these movies. That's not even debatable. So here we are, Avengers Infinity War will at least partially adapt the Infinity Gauntlet arc from the comics, which, among other things, featured the deaths of nearly every Marvel hero. The third Avengers will feel like a conclusion, but it's Avengers 4 that will bring the 22-movie arc we've watched throughout the MCU to an end. Scenes in Avengers 4 will feature scenes in the 1960s, maybe the 1940s, and even a sequence from the first Avengers movie, but not in a way where they're able to just reuse footage. They have to reshoot scenes, which means stuff is changing. Oh, and of course, we know that time travel exists in the MCU thanks to Doctor Strange, in which he did so with the help of, one of the Infinity Stones. So what do we think's gonna happen in Avengers 4? Well, we think it's gonna be the MCU's very own take on Back to the Future. Follow along with us here. What if, similar to the way the comics went, Infinity War ended with Thanos winning, killing almost every hero in the MCU, only one person survives, maybe it's Doctor Strange or one of the more prominent heroes like Iron Man or Captain America, or hey, maybe even a newbie like Spider-Man. Whoever it is, they attempt to Hail Mary, they grab the Time Stone and travel throughout the MCU's glorious 22-movie past, taking us on a waltz down memory lane while cleverly changing events throughout. This hero manages to alter just enough MCU history to ultimately defeat Thanos, but in doing so, changes the MCU forever, so that things really feel different going forward into Phase 4, or whatever Marvel decides to call the post-Infinity War movies. So, different how, you ask? I don't know, maybe Valkyrie is Thor now, maybe a young girl named Riri Williams grows up to be Iron Man instead of Tony Stark. Obviously, some of our favorite heroes are coming up on the ends of their contracts, so why not give them an easy out in 2019? Not everything would have to change, but it would certainly give Marvel the chance to hit the reset button wherever they need it in a way that feels canonical and, well, not like a cheat. Anyway, that's our theory, but what do you folks think? Will we see some time travel and antics in Avengers 4? Who do you think will be the MCU's Marty McFly? What is the super secret Avengers 4 title? Is it Avengers Legacy? Avengers Wibbly Wobbly Timey Wimey Time Force? Avengers, oh shit, we really wrote ourselves into a corner here. I don't know, maybe time travel? Let's discuss. Be sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss one of our world-famous stories, theories, or breakdowns. If you're a YouTube viewer, mash that little bell and you'll get notified as soon as a new video pops. And Facebook viewers, give us a like, won't you? It's the holidays. Help spread the cheer.